Good morning. It is about a week and a half before Christmas, so I thought that I would get my very festive little Christmas tree glasses. And I'm noticing there's not very many pom-poms over here. Might need to add some more decorations, maybe some garland or something. But anyway, good morning. My name is Jamie, and this is what I call Art in the AM. And I just noticed that I was going to open up a card today for the Christmas card challenge, and my card is over there. So I need to go over and get that card. But I would love to know, since I am kind of here in the, I have a whole basket of different glasses and hats and headbands and all kinds of things. Do you do, festive things like that? Do you wear the ugly Christmas sweaters? Do you do I don't very much, like on different special occasions when we're kind of out, but I don't this is the only Christmas shirt that I own. I think I have one ugly Christmas sweater, and that's about it. But I would love to know, while I'm grabbing my card, you can tell me, hi, good morning, Sue. You can tell me in the comments if you have photo props, because the basket that I have, I'm gonna have it out at Christmas when we host my family here, and I'm just gonna tell, this is some photo props, and you can use all these different things, and it just makes it a little bit more fun, and maybe more likely that some of the teenagers might get in the photos. So let me grab this card. It is for day 15, which is today. I have not opened it yet, so let me grab that. And I have to grab my journal. So it's nice that my chair is on wheels, so I can just wheel over there really easily. So this is day 15. Every year for the past, this is the 5th year, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. No, this is the 6th year. I started this in December of 2020. And it was because partly my mom had made an entire set of cards. This one is all sealed up. She had made an entire set of cards for me to open up during the month of December. So every day I had a different card to open up. And I also wanted to do something creative. December can be a really busy month and all kinds of different things going on and, good things, but it can be really busy. And I had committed that year to doing something creative every day, just trying to be more creative. And the Christmas cards seemed like a really good way to have something that was already designed. It already had a subject. It already had some colors. It took away a lot of the excuses of not getting started, right? Because I already had an idea. I already had some colors. I already had some things. So let me go ahead and show you this card that I'm going to use for inspiration today. And I might get out some other different glasses or headband or something to be able to wear. But basically, I have some things at my table that I think that I might use. So I have some different Christmas papers. I have some Christmas stickers. I have some Christmas stamps, although I don't have my stamp pad over here. I have these fun little ornaments that I used on Saturday for a volunteer event that I did. I have this fun snowflake stamp. So I just have some things over here, and I have a couple of paints. And looking at this card, I'm not sure that I have all the things that I made. Well, nope, now I have an idea. So here is the card. And you can see it has some of these holographic papers in there. And even the background with the silver. And you can see how it really picks up all of the different colors on there. Oh, my stand started sliding down. And then the other thing that I noticed on there, I wonder if because I wiped off my table, it's all slippery. It keeps sliding. So the other thing that I noticed was this pink tree, and I will tell you because I think that's going to be my inspiration. And then this paper over here has like hearts on it. Oh, I don't know why that's sliding. Might have to have a more, I think it's because my phone is heavy. Let's see. I can't get it to stay still. I think it's just because when I put my phone in there, it's like heavy. But this paper has little hearts on it. This has a little Merry Christmas sticker down there. And I know this looks pink, but it's really just I think it's reflecting the color of my shirt on there. So it's a very reflective, and I know when my mom was making these cards, she made me a whole set of cards for the month of December. She said she used black in some of the cards, which you don't really think of as a Christmas color, and she wasn't too sure about, but it is very detailed. And I don't even know if I could explain to you. So this back here, well, the black is the card, and then this paper is the background that's attached to the card. The black part is actually like a cutout frame, right? Like when I run my finger over, it's the black that is cut out, and then all of these pieces have been cut out. She has one of those little Sissics. They're like a die cut little machine. I think I talked about it last week that I have one, and I don't even know right off where it is. I think it's over there somewhere. And she cuts out, you know, all of these pieces so that they fit in there. So her and a friend get together and they make all of these cards, and they each made 7 sets of cards. So for each card, she was making 14. I think that she takes like a little baggie. I don't know if she's watching live so she can verify this, but I think she takes like a little baggie and puts all of the pieces in there. So she probably cut out 1 page of all of these, but then they were making, you know, so many of them. So then she had all of these pieces from all of these different papers, because there are, my gosh, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then all of these, there's like 6 different kinds of paper on there. So anyway, that is the card. And then she usually will do some kind of sentiment in there, and which are also like little stamps. So her and her friends spent the whole year putting together all of these cards, and Sharon, she does do a lot of creative different things, and I would say I get that love of creating things definitely from her. So I am going to go ahead and flip over to my next page. I did not spend a lot of time being creative last week, doing other things creative, but not in my journal. So I think today I just had some plans cancel. I think I'm going to set aside some time this week to create in my journal. So I will go ahead, and hopefully my stand won't slide anymore. And I will turn this down so you can see my journal here. See, there it goes sliding a little bit again. Let's keep it just like that. So this is a page that I have not finished yet. And you may have seen a reel that I did where I showed using stencil butter with this really pretty snowflake stencil. And then over here I used it, and I don't know if you can even see, but then I painted over it. And hey there, Angel. So I still need to finish this page, so I'm going to just go ahead and flip over to the next page. And it actually is a page that has been sewn through there, so I can see the thread through there. And I have not everything that I need over here. So let me get an idea. If you were going to look at this card, what would you use for inspiration? What would you pull out of that? Would you try to duplicate the card? Would you try to pull something out? Would you use the colors? Like, what would you use in there for inspiration? So I am going to grab a couple of things and see if I can't kind of get something. I think I'm going to do across like 2 pages. Sue says definitely the pink tree and the hearts. I like that idea because the hearts do really kind of stand out. So I am grabbing a couple of things that I think that I can use here. I was looking at, you know, videos, reels, tutorials, all the different kinds of things. And I remember seeing a pink tree. So that is actually what I'm going to do, is use that pink tree, but I want to have some kind of background. And anytime that I'm doing a background, I always like to have these. You can tell that they are well used. And this is, I have talked about before, this is a cutting board from the Dollar Tree that I just cut in half. And I keep them with all my journal stuff because they fit right behind those pages. Because I think what I want to do is I want to experiment. When I don't have everything over here that I think that I might want to use, I use what's available. So I grabbed a couple of things and I'm going to try a little experiment. Pink is definitely what I wanted to pull out of there, and I'm going to do the pink tree, and I think I'm going to do it in a circle. I like that idea of the circle, so I do need to find a circle to be able to trace around or draw on there. And I do like the little hearts. There are little star or ornaments kind of hanging down, so I think I might do something with that. But I don't have a pink paint over here, so I could get a pink paint, or I am thinking in the background I want to do something a little darker like it is on there. So let me grab a couple more things here. And let's see, one more over here. Because to me, the contrast of that dark against the pink is really what makes that pink stand out so much. So in the background here, I want it to stay pretty dark. And what I have is a couple of different things. Oh, no, one of these. So I have my gel stick. This is a King Art gel stick, and I think I'm going to use that. I also have this ultramarine high flow paint. It is by Golden. So this is like true mixed media here. And then I have this acrylic ink that is indigo. So it's a very dark. And I think, just because I want a little sparkle, I have this acrylic ink that is a pearlescent, and it is called Galactic Blue. So I'm going to take all of that and I'm going to like swirl it in the background here. And I think I'm going to start with this gel stick. It is a deep navy. And not necessarily fill it all in, but you know, I do this a lot of times just to get something on the paper so that I'm not scared to like mess it up, to put something on there. And this will activate with liquid, with anything wet. So the high flow paint that I'm going to use and the acrylic ink will help to activate this and like move it around. So I'm just going to put, I have used this one quite a bit, so I don't even know if there's very much left in there. Kind of shake it around a little bit. I got this high flow acrylic paint. I don't know if you've ever used the Golden High Flow or any Golden products. You know, they're kind of a step above your like acrylic paints, right? They are more vibrant, they're more pigmented. And I got a lot of these golden paints. I have another, this is also a high flow. I got a little set of mediums and all kinds of golden paints to try. And it was like in a little, just like a little sampler set. If you are interested in that, I got it at Michael's, but I do believe I have it in my Amazon shop. If you're interested, just put like sample in there or golden or something so that I kind of know. And it really has given me a chance to use some golden products. Okay, this acrylic ink, it has this little stopper. So what I do is I push it at the top, I put it down into the ink, and then I let go, and that will fill up that stopper. And this is very dark. That is the indigo. But then I want to put some of this pearlescent on there. I usually shake it up just a little bit to kind of get that pearlescent kind of mixed in there. So let me put some of that. And now you get to see what it looks like once I get it wet. And I don't actually have to add any water to it. So I'm just kind of taking my brush that I just kind of added to the water. And my water is pink. And I'm just going to start kind of moving those. Oh, I really like that blue. Oh my goodness. And it'll kind of keep some of those brush strokes or those strokes from my gel pen in the back. So I kind of like that. So I'm not really, mixing it so much. I'm just getting all of it kind of covered because I want that dark background. Here's the thing when you're creating, I'm gonna pull my shirt up a little bit. See if you can see that side. Oh, that's really dark. I love how the colors are kind of playing together. When I work in my journal, it's a way for me to just kind of like try out some things and to just not be afraid to try some things. It's paper and some paint. I'd put a couple of drops of things on there. Now, some of this is kind of thick in places, and I'm going to kind of try something else here. Because I have that snowflake stamp, I'm going to try just kind of putting these stamps. It'll be really subtle in the background because it's only kind of showing up where the places are wet and it's like lifting up some of the paint. Let's see if I can get some of that over here too. So I kind of like any kind of texture and just subtle kind of things like that. It's not picking it up as much over here. Let's see if I can kind of re-wet that a little bit and see if it works pretty well over here. It's a little bit better now. And it could be because there's just more paint on here. So while it was still wet, that worked pretty well. That was kind of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and take my heat tool here. Here's the thing that I would encourage you, especially as we're kind of thinking about like the new year. During the new year, what do you want to change about your creative practice? What do you want to do different? Do you want to actually block off more time on your calendar to make the time to be creative? Do you want to do 15 minutes every day? Do you want to have a journal that you just play around? I mean, do some pages like this. They don't even have to be finished pages. Do you want to complete a certain number of paintings or projects? Or do you want to, think about before the end of the year, like what it is that you want to do differently? What it is that you want to just change, really. What do you want to change in the new year? So I'm going to paint a pink tree over here, but I want to do a circle. So I'm looking around to see what kind of a circle. That's not a very big circle, but I think that that'll work. So I am going to, I have some markers over here. I don't know that I've talked about these in a long time. These are Sparkle Pop pens. I'm telling you, if you want a sparkly pen that will actually write on darker paper, because sometimes if you get a glittery pen, it will just kind of like disappear on darker paper. These Sparkle Pop pens will show up, and there's a red one, and it shows up more black, but then on the darker paper it's red, or I don't know. They change. It's kind of crazy. So I'm going to trace this circle with the silver pen. I don't know that you'll be able to see it very well, but I think that I'll be able to see it enough. I don't know. I don't think it likes that the paint is still wet on there. Well, I can kind of see where the circle is, but let me see if I can get, Let's see if the blue one actually works on the blue paper. Because I just want to know where the circle is. I've used these quite a bit, so they could be just out of ink. There's enough of a circle there that I can tell. So I just want to make sure this is the side that I'm working on, because this is the front of the book. So I'm just going to work on this page, and then usually what I do is I put the card over here so that you can see over here. So Sue said that she has this, but she forgets to use them. So I keep them in a little cup like this, and that way I can just grab them and be able to pull them down to my table and work on them. Oh, Wanda says she loves them. They're so good, and the fact that they write on the darker paper, I have another one that is the gel pens from the Dollar Tree, and they don't do that. So knowing what materials work better is important. I am going to take this. This is actually a water brush where you can put water in here, but this is more of a flat brush. I'm looking for a round brush. I don't have one over here. Let's use this one. We're gonna try this. I do like this little angle brush, so it's kind of angled, and I think that it'll work for what I want to do. So I'm gonna do a pink tree, and if you notice, this kind of has layers of the tree over here. And so it has all of these different layers. And the tree, the little video that I saw today, was exactly like that. They kind of did these layers. So I'm going to start with the darkest pink. And I'm just using a piece of paper for my palette over here. I don't know that you'll really be able to see too much what I'm doing with let's try to scoot this over just a little bit there. And maybe you can see. I'm using another one of my acrylic inks. I don't know how well this will work. This is Quinacridone Magenta, and this is going to be my darkest pink. And I have used this one so much that sometimes the stopper gets stuck in there. There we go. I'm not sure if it will just absorb into the paper there. Since this is kind of dark, what I am going to do is paint some white down on there first. Okay, so here is why I asked you about what you're going to do differently next year. I am having I'm going to start here at the top for the top of the tree, and I'm going to do like the first little layer. I am having a vision board masterclass tomorrow, and it is going to be on Zoom, and I'm going to teach you a technique, a framework, a formula for creating your vision of 2026. And I definitely include the vision board. So we're going to talk about how to do that. But I'm also going to kind of share the process of afterwards. Like after you make the vision board, then what do you do? And it's something that I have been doing for the past 6 years. So before I started my business, I did create a vision board. And so that is my tree there. And I'm just going to dry that a little bit. I don't even know that I necessarily care whether it's completely dry. But if you were on my email list, you received an email this morning that I sent out about that vision board master class, which is happening tomorrow. I'm doing from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern, and also from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on Zoom because I really want to have the opportunity to kind of talk about, and you're going to see how bright this, look at how bright that is. I love this quinacridone magenta. I kind of like the brush strokes of the white underneath there too. On the Zoom, I feel like you can just ask questions and you can just be able to feel like you're surrounded by other creative women that are also, you know, kind of trying to figure out their 2026. And I'm really going to kind of have you go through a process to really figure out what it is that you want. I feel like a lot of people will set goals, right? Because really that's kind of what you're doing on a vision board, is you're putting your goals in a visual form so that you can refer to them. But I also feel like some people come January, February, like they can't keep up the progress, and build momentum to actually make the things happen that they want to do. Oh, I'm sitting here looking for my white paint. It's right here on the. So now I'm going to mix some of the white paint. So I have a lighter pink. We'll see if that's enough on there. But I'm going to dry this a little bit first. But you see, I put the white on there so the pink would show up well. So let's go ahead and dry this a little bit. And what I'm going to do is a medium pink, and then I'm going to do almost a white, just a really pale pink on the top. And so this is just like one way to do a tree, you know, that is kind of stylized and layered. And it really reminds me of the tree that's on there. You could definitely paint a tree, you know, more like that one. I just decided to do kind of like this technique. That ink is a little shiny, so I couldn't tell whether it was really dry. So with this medium pink, what I'm going to do is kind of like in the middle of what I just did. So I'm still leaving some of that dark in there. And just kind of overlapping. Anyway, you can refer back to the email that I sent if you're on my email list. I just sent that a couple, I don't know, an hour or so ago. Or if you want information, just put vision in the comments and I will make sure that you directly get the link for that. And I think that it's going to be really good. So one of the other things that I'm doing with the vision board class is I am actually going to be sending out an email every month to hold you accountable to your vision that you put on there. So I'm not really going to dry this too much, but what I am going to do is rinse out my paintbrush. Well, I'm just going to wipe it right on my paper because I'm going to end up using this paper for something. And that is something that I'm really excited about. I'm going to be sending out an email every month. So now I'm mainly picking up white. I'm adding a little bit of the pink into it, but I really want more of a contrast. And I'm going to do that kind of more down at the end. So this email is going to go out every month. I'm going to be sending you to kind of check in with you to see how you're doing, to see, you know, how I can help. And I'm actually going to put kind of a little training. I don't know if that's, but you're going to get extra content in those emails. It's not going to just be, how are you doing with your goals? You know, so it's going to be extra in the emails that you get to kind of help with staying on track with your goals. So if that is something that you know that you need some accountability with, sign up for the Vision Board Masterclass and join us tomorrow. There will be replays of it because I know I did not send out the email until today. So there will be some replays and you can watch them and come back. But, you know, I would encourage you to try to get onto the Zoom if you could. I'm going to kind of come back in just with a little bit more of the pink just to... yeah, kind of soften up that line of the white in there. And really it's kind of blending in because it's all still kind of wet. So there's like my little pink tree. And I think once I kind of let this dry, I'm going to do like emphasize that circle a little bit more. And I think that I'm going to have some ornaments, some lines kind of coming down and paint some little pink ornaments and maybe even do some little stars or something. But let me pull this off so you can kind of see what that looks like. Put this one off over here and you can kind of see the snowflakes a little bit behind there too. So you can kind of see like a little bit of that in there kind of at the top. So very fluffy. It's a very fluffy, and I think I will probably put a little pink star at the top, how this one has a little pink star too. So there you go. It's very fluffy and has the pink, you know, kind of underneath and like the layers. And that's just a way to be able to have like more depth in there. And you can even kind of see some of this darker in there. So very stylized kind of tree, right? It's, you know, similar to this one where it has kind of like the stylized little little branches on there too. So I'm going to continue working with this and finishing up some other pages. Remember, if you want to take a Christmas card and just do something creative in a journal like this, my Art Journaling 101 group is where you can share those. You can get ideas in there. You can see some of the fun things that people have been doing and different materials that they've been using, and make that time for yourself to be creative and to just try a little something in your book there. Hey, I just saw my mom's picture pop up. So Mom, this is the card that I used today for the inspiration for my little pink tree there. I love it. I will show you a couple of the other cards because they have been very detailed, complex. I have to show you this one because this one was yesterday's card, and I want you to see how it opens. How fun is that? So I've never seen a card open like that where it's like on a curve and then the inside, there's even a little snowman on the inside. Isn't that fun? So many different ways that you can open a card, right? I'll show you this one too, and then there's one other one after this. This one I'm definitely going to use for inspiration. It's the silver card, and then look, you open it up this way. Isn't that so pretty? And just like the little flap there. And then I will show you one more that is so detailed. It's very similar to the one that I used today because it's all of these like layers and things. But look at this one. I don't even remember. So this border is the piece that was cut out. And then all of these were kind of fit in between all of the little sections on there. Isn't that so cool? I just loved how it's almost like a mosaic or something on there. So yes, they are all so pretty, and she spends so much time doing those. So I am so grateful that every day I get to open up a new one and look to see, you know, just how they were created. So I will finish this page with the pink tree there, and I will post that here on my page. And just remember, if you want to be part of the Vision Board Masterclass that I'm doing tomorrow, just make a comment, go look in your email if you're on my email list, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow during that masterclass. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to be on Zoom, kind of going through the process that I use, and we're going to be talking about Word of the Year, and we're going to be talking about your dreams and all of these different things and the process to kind of go through those. And you'll get that support through an email through the year to be able to kind of just feel encouraged to stick with your goals during the year. So I appreciate you being here, and I hope that you make some time to be creative, just like I'm going to do today too. So I will see you next Monday for card number 22. It'll be day 22, and I will do another page and also tell you about a Word of the Year little project that I'm going to be doing too. So I will hopefully see you next Monday. Remember that these replays of these videos do go out in my email on Monday nights, and also they are on my YouTube channel if you would like the link to watch over there and be able to just kind of go down through all of those together. So I hope you have a great day and a creative day, and that you make some time for yourself to be creative, and maybe even try out your own little pink tree. I would love to see it.